Welcome to Community Crossfire, another point of view. I'm your host, Norman Oliver. First of all, I want to wish everyone a happy holidays. I'm not going to be able to sing and dance as good as the Congo Hour, but I hope that you did enjoy the rendition. I do have my red on, though. I'm in the Christmas spirit. I want to give a couple birthday shout-outs first to my niece, Nataki. Her birthday was the 21st. My brother, Cisco Alonzo Brown, his birthday is the 25th. Mo, his birthday, Kendall Mobley, the president the Money Club, his birthday is also 25th. Happy birthday to Miss Amanda Jackson. Her birthday is the 24th. I think I'm missing another birthday, but who cares? Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I have a special guest on during this Christmas holiday, and that's the mayor of our fair city, Mayor Dennis Williams. We're going to have a candid conversation like we usually do. And he answer what he want and answer what he don't want, or say nothing to him what he don't want. Mayor, let's jump right into it.
First of all, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
Thank you for having me.
So before we take the gloves off, we shake and come on fighting?
Well, you can take the gloves off. I'm only going to talk about what I want to talk about.
Let me ask you a question. That's a good point. Let me ask you a question. Reflecting back on a year, right? Mm-hmm. Is it what you thought it would be, or is it different? Is this what you thought this would?
Well, Norman, it's been a lot fast-paced. I thought I knew exactly what I was walking into, but it's a lot different. Mm-hmm. But, I'm up for the challenge. This is why I ran for mayor. Mm-hmm. I gave up a lot to leave the General Assembly and come to the city of Wilmington to be mayor. I could have been the leader of the House, but I chose to come back to my city and run it because I know it needed leadership.
Mm-hmm. You and I was talking in the green room, and I know you don't really want to talk about that, but one thing I know you, and I'm being very honest, and I know how much you care.
Right.
Let me be honest about that. And like when we wake up this morning and you see the paper, that gotta frustrate you a little bit. I mean, or not frustrate, but it gotta, you know what I mean? Because we losing lives.
First of all, Norman, newspapers sell stories to make money, and I'm not even going to dignify that with a further response because all they're out to make money. Next question. Okay, my next question. What are, if you look back on the last year, what are some of the things that you say you're most satisfied with? Well, one of the things that I'm satisfied with is working with our youth. We put almost $250,000 into youth programs. We keep our centers open. We have a education program where we're trying to keep kids from dropping out of school. As you know, when we took over, we have a 60% dropout rate. These are things that we feel that we're curtailing. Our summer job program, our Arts in the Park for children. I mean, these are the things that we're doing, and we've given this information to the media who choose not to write about it. Because you got a couple, for instance, TD Bank, I think, went to the Hercules building. Absolutely. Right? Then you have the There was $20 million invested in that Hercules area by Paul McGonnell Group, and I tell you, that's an awful lot of money for that Brandywine Village area that's going to run all the way down from Concord Avenue all the way down to the area of 14th and 15th and Market. I mean, we have a lot of things going on. Let's look at the Carolina League Baseball All-Star Game that's coming in our city in June of 2014. It's going to bring thousands of people in. The National Conference of Black Political Scientists will be here in March. Full house at Doubletree already. The Conference of State Legislators will be here in 2015. Thousands of people will be at the riverfront. The Westin Hotel is already filled. Let's talk about those things. Let's talk about the officer that went downtown and engaged the school children to paint murals to make vacant buildings look better. Let's talk about all that good stuff. And it's funny, even when you talk about that, I think Brother Ronald, you gave him $500,000 to do some housing for seniors. I mean, this kind of stuff is not being written about. That's why I asked you some of the things that you're happy about. Sure, I'm happy about that. And as you know, if you look at when we came in with things that were left on our plate from the previous administration. I'm not going to go out and beat folks up. I accepted this responsibility. I got elected by the people, not to cry. I got elected to be a leader, and that's what I do. I don't hide behind covers. I make decisions. I stand firm on my decisions. When this administration has made mistakes, I didn't point the finger at anybody. I took the hit for that. That's what leadership's all about. Well, what frustrates you the most over the past year then? Well, I mean, you told me what made you happy. What's something that frustrates you the most? Norman, media relations frustrates me. That's one of the things, and you're not going to sneak around and try to get me back in if I get going back dooring on me. So, I'm being serious. No, honestly, God, okay. It's no backdoor thing. Certain things will frustrate me. Media relations has been my biggest headache since I've been in office. Why With the exception of radio. Radio seems to be more. Have seems to reach out to this administration more to me, and I don't know why this newspaper has chose to attack this administration, but and I don't know. Are there some changes that you're looking to do? Well, there are some changes
the last time you were on the show, right?
Absolutely.
You said, and then when I saw you said, look, Norm, I have to make some changes.
There will be some changes, and those changes will not be relinquished or talked about until sometime after the first of the year.
Okay. Is there anything that I need to know?
No.
I mean, like, since you're not going to tell me, I tell you what I hear, and you can say yes or no. Are there going to be changes in the Parks Department?
As I stated a few moments ago, those changes will be relinquished and brought about after the first of the year. I'll discuss those changes.
Okay, let me ask you another question. What's some of your economic development plans?
Well, Norman, we have a...
You can talk about that, right?
We have a blueprint plan. We're looking at Discover Bank coming in to help small businesses. We haven't gotten this totally off the ground yet, but we're almost ready to seal the deal. These will help small businesses get off the ground and give them the cash flow that they need to get started in the support mechanism. I found during the course of the campaign, this is one of the biggest problems that we had. Small businesses started up, but they couldn't survive because no one was there to guide them through the process or help them. You know, you can give somebody a check for $5,000 and say open a business up, but if you don't have the stability and the support, long-range support, you won't survive.
Well, okay, that's economic development. We talked a little bit about Public Works. Well, we didn't talk about Public Works.
Well, kudos to Public Works. Look at what they did during the snowstorm. They had the streets clean. I mean, they were there. We have a great team that's in place. I think that, you know, if you read the editorials, if you read the letters, if you look at the emails, you read the phone calls, people were very, very respectful of Public Works for what they did. I mean, they were out on the streets, they cleaned up. I mean, they were there 24/7. Way before the storm even got out of control, they were out there doing their thing.
What would you say Mayor Dennis Williams' style is as mayor?
Well, you know, Norman, you know me. I'm a no-nonsense guy. I try to be fair. But, you know, there's one CEO of the city, and that's me. And that's the way it's going to be.
Has your relationship with council gotten better since the last time you were on here?
I work with city council, Norman.
Well, I mean, what do you think the problem is? I mean,
I work with them.
Are you saying they don't work
Norman,
with you?
I work with them.
What does that mean? Do they
I work with them.
Or
work. You want me to define work to you? It means I have a working relationship with you, and when me and you have to do something on a common ground, we work together to
What's
get it
the
done.
relationship with you and Theo Gregory like?
I work with him.
Because I hear that you guys, you know, got a little upset with each other.
See, that's what you get for hearing things.
So my hearing is going bad now. You got me laughing. Let me get back right. Okay, let me ask you. Now, okay, on a serious issue, right? Your background is in policing, right? And perfectly honest, and this is just my opinion,
okay.
And you don't have to answer if you don't want to. I think that you have a right, as the mayor, to hire whoever you want to. That's just my opinion. And I'm not saying that because the FOP or someone else made a comment that you have to follow their lead, because that is your prerogative as the mayor. Am I right about that?
You're right.
So when you see comments by the FOP or city council or whatever, do you like who the hell you think you are? I mean, you're not saying that. I'm saying it because I think I might have sided with you on this. Well, and I mean that.
First of all, union folks, that's what they have to do. They have to jump up and down and show their leadership that they are fighting for them. Right. So the leadership of any union has to be vocal because that lets the body know that they're out there working for them. Right. Legislators, which I was for 17 and a half years, have to jump up and down and flex every now and then, let their constituency know that they're relevant. So I know both sides. But do I entertain that? No, I'm the mayor. I'll make the decision who the chief's going to be and any other department head in this city. Not the FOP, not any other union, and not city council. It will be Mayor Dennis P. Williams.
I appreciate that. When we did talk the last time, you said that you were going to implement a new deployment plan. I guess, is that the right word, deployment? How's that working out?
Well, the integrated deployment plan is already working. It's engagement. I mean, we're doing some things. I think you can see some of the different things we're doing, but the people will say we're not doing it. We're getting guns off the street, narcotics, illegal cash. We had an incident where we got $106,000 worth of cash in a vehicle. Guy said he was shot. Yeah, he was shot. He was selling dope. And what they did, they went to rob this guy. And what happened was he got shot, and then he went to the hospital and said he didn't know where he got shot and didn't know whose car it was, but it was $106,000 cash in the car.
Ain't that frustrating though? I mean, seriously. I mean, like, I think that it was a difference, and I don't know. You could tell me, like, even when I worked for you, that you can get information. Then, I mean, have we gotten to a point, Mayor? And this is real candid conversation where it seems like they just don't care about human life anymore. You know, when some of these folks are taking lives, right, and putting it on Instagram, and just bragging about it, like this guy over in this neighborhood is a killer and he had 5 bodies. I mean, that's crazy.
First of all, Norman, we can't legislate morality. I've been one to say this over and over again. The foundation of the family is disintegrating. Our moral values we're leaving and losing them. Our Christian values are just slipping through our fingertips. The government cannot raise people's families, and everybody points the finger at government. But if you take a look at what's going on in your own household and take care of your family and try to take the family foundation and glue it back together, that's where it all needs to start. We are working now on dropout rates. We're looking at trying to get people retrained to get employment. But if folks don't take responsibility for themselves to a degree, this is going to be a continuous cycle.
And you know, for me, and I've said this before, what I'm frustrated about, I think they put money in the person who crosses the best T and dot the best I. You know what I mean? And they're putting money in the same programs because this consultant sounds better. You know what I mean? And I don't think that is sometimes getting to the root of some of the problems which you're talking about, the family.
Well, Norman, one of the things we did, this administration, let's look at summer jobs. Let's start about that. We gave summer jobs to the poorest of the poor. I brought a team of folks in who are pretty much volunteering their time to reach out and try to find out why all these kids are dropping out of school. Dr. Sills, Mr. Pritchett, Ray Avery Jones, and folks that know education. These folks are in there, I mean, working every day. B.B. Coker's advised me on some issues about education with children. We know that's where it's all going to lie. If you don't have any education and training, you're going to be unemployable. And when you're unemployable, you go right to the street corner, and next thing you get hired by the guy that's in the game.
How's your ambassador program? I know you said you're going to hire, and I think Pastor D's on board. I don't know if you're going to bring others. I think that's a great idea because, again, you have to have, me personally, you have to have youth workers or folks out there who understand the community. How's that working out?
We're almost 80% there, but we have some kinks that we have to roll out and get fixed. And when we do that, we'll roll it out. We're not going to put anything out there that's not working, and it's not structurally sound, and it's not placed 100% together. Not going to do that. We're going to make sure, because this is very serious stuff here. When we roll this out, this is going to be well validated, well trained, and ready to go. You
know, I tell you what. The one incident that kind of made me think, like, take pause, like, wow, this thing is serious, because I guess when a police officer got shot on 22nd Street, and usually when a police officer gets shot, of course I have no idea what's going on, we would know like that, like, you know, somebody say, well, this guy did it. It seems like we have no idea what's going on.
Let's go back to economic development.
Okay.
I think right now that we need to look at what's going on in our city. Businesses coming in, banks on the verge of expanding. Those are the things that we need to talk about. I want to get away from this one-dimensional police stuff.
No good.
Because our city.
You're talking to a guy who likes talking about economics.
Right. Our city is fixed on the East Coast with 495, 295, and I-95. We are fixed in a position where we can do a lot of great things, and we have a natural waterway, which is the Christiana River, Delaware River, and right out into the bay. I mean, these are the things we need to start looking at. We have a port that is very viable. It's starting to expand. Dole, I understand, just re-signed.
Right.
These are the things we need to look at. We have Cap One, who's brought in almost another 500 employees. We have Citibank that's bringing in employees. That's why I'm saying we got to get a group of folks to get educated to work for these banks. Also, we're looking at some IT schools. We're trying to lure them in here. We haven't started on it yet, but we're working on it to get these folks trained in IT so we can get some people off the streets to go back to work. Norman, you have to invest, first of all, to stop this criminal behavior.
I wrote an editorial piece on your behalf.
And this is more than 12 years of neglect. You know, I've been in office 12 months, and people think that I'm going to be able to stop the war we lost on drugs when Richard Nixon was president of the United States. So if people would open their minds up and read their history books and go on the internet and read about certain things, how crime has plagued this nation.
Right.
But I wonder why people weren't saying anything about the dropout rate before I was elected to mayor. I wonder why people weren't talking about the crime rate before I was elected to mayor. But all of a sudden when I come and I'm window wizard, I can save everything. I can cure it all. That's impossible. People were sitting around, people were elected, didn't open their mouth. They didn't do a thing. And I'm not going to jump through hoops and rush to try to get anything done and do it wrong and then have the consequences to fall back on the taxpayers or this administration. I'm going to take my time, I'm going to do it right, and we're going to be okay.
But let me ask you this, because you said a few things. Do you feel like it's some kind of conspiracy?
I don't believe in conspiracies.
Well, I mean, it's like you said, a lot of things seem like they're falling on your lap. Like some of these folks never talked about it before. Well, they're talking about it now. So I mean, like something's got to happen.
Well, they always talk, Norman, when somebody new comes in and the person takes responsibility. See, I'm a leader, and I don't pass the buck. When things go wrong, it's my responsibility. I accept that. And most of the times when people accept responsibility, that's who they focus on. And you have to look at what's going on in this nation. You know, mayors are under siege in this nation. Washington has cut back so much, and some people in Washington feel obligated that they don't owe cities any money.
Right.
And this is where the bulk of your folks
I was going
are.
to ask you that question. Do you think you're getting the support from the federal, state government, you know what I mean, as far as resources to, job creation, housing creation, and drugs and crime?
Well, I think that you're going to see more movement now and in the future because of the crises that Wilmington is in. And I think that the federal delegation, who I've met with 3 times since I've been mayor, I think that they are stepping up to the plate to make some movement, to work, to get some things done. Look, I can't stand by and fight people who think that they can tell me what to do. I don't have time for that. I've raised 3 children, first of all. I'm a mayor. And a mayor comes in and makes serious decisions. I'm the CEO of the city. All the folks that think that I can't do my job, then they'll have to get in line in 2016 and do whatever they want to do. But right now, I'm running the city. And we're going to get things done. And we're going to get things done by me making decisions that I think are sound for the taxpayers and to get the job done, Norman. I'm a guy that I go out here and do what I have to do. I'm not worried about what's going to happen to me 4 years from now. See, I can't worry about that. I can't worry about polls. That kind of stuff doesn't frighten me. I can't worry about people being angry with me. You know, I'm a man. I'm not a little boy. And I don't have time for the foolishness. Everybody that wants to act like a fool, they can stay where they need to be and act like a fool. I don't have time for it. I have a city to run. All these folks are my responsibility, including my administration. 80,000 people are responsible for me when the businesses aren't open during the day, in the evening, I'm sorry. But during the day, when all these businesses are open, I'm responsible for almost 200,000 people, and I have to make tough decisions.
No, good point. Let me, since you said you want to talk about economic development and finance and stuff, do you foresee raising taxes this next budget cycle?
I'm not a big tax man, Norman. I'll do everything I can not to raise taxes. I made that commitment when I ran. I made the commitment when I came in. I didn't raise taxes in the last budget. Taxes, to me, being raised is an easy way out. We got to look at other things, thinking outside the box, bringing more entertainment inside the city, cutting out outside contractors, outside vendors. You got to watch that stuff. You got to look at overtime being wasted. You got to look at vehicles that can be retrofitted. You don't have to buy cars every 12 months. You got to look at all this stuff. I had an $800 million deficit as chairman of Joint Finance. We got through that by streamlining the budget.
Okay. Or like the union contracts, are they up this year?
All of them are.
Wow. How does that work? They might have to take a pinch?
Well, I'm not going to lay people off. When you lay people off, you destroy families. I've said that all during the campaign, but people will have to take concessions if things get that bad. And when I say concessions, I mean hold the line. We cannot continue to keep giving pay raises out and stacking it on the back of the pension
That's what I'm saying.
plan.
How can you give them raises and not raise the taxes?
You can't, Norman.
You understand my point?
You can't do it. And the way to keep giving raises and put it on the backs of the taxpayers, you're destroying these folks out here who are struggling, who've lost their jobs, and people that are on fixed incomes. It can't be done. Look at Detroit. Look at Ben Salem. Look at Scranton, Pennsylvania. Look at Harrisburg. Look at Camden. Look at Trenton. I can go down the line more and more. They're all on the verge of bankruptcy, and some of them have already filed bankruptcy. Wow. And I'm a mayor that's not going to put this city in that predicament. I can't do it.
So I guess the way you, again, sticking on this economic development thing, you don't foresee raising taxes. You
bring more businesses in, so your PIT will be higher, personal income tax, and your city wage tax. City wage tax hasn't been raised in the city in 40 years because, first of all, a lot of people haven't had the fortitude or the gall to go to the General Assembly and sit down with them and try to work it out to get this raised. So now I'm in a situation where I have to look at which would be best for us. Do I think I want to go and push a bill to raise city wage taxes? Absolutely not. I think one of the things we can do is tighten our belts up, think outside the box, bring more businesses inside the city, watch our spending, and eliminate waste.
And by the way, for the record, I've said this and I put it in writing. I think that, again, you're absolutely right. We have to cultivate our business community.
We do.
Because if our business community, I'm telling you who watching, if our business community leaves, you think we having crime now? You just wait. We will be a Detroit. We'll be in bankruptcy because the bottom line is that's the infrastructure, and people have to feel that where they're spending their dollars and putting money back into the economy.
It's 40% of our budget, Norman. If our businesses collapse the day or tomorrow, I'd have to lay off half the city workforce.
Say that again?
I'd have to lay off half of the city workforce if our business community failed.
Wow. Wow.
Overnight. Just that fast.
Wow. So what is your plans for coming year?
Work.
You're a funny guy. Open up the phone lines. And first of all, let me say thank you for coming on.
Not a problem.
You know what I mean? I'd like to get you on more often because you and I have good dialogue. We have even better dialogue off the air. You know what I mean? Can I ask you this? I mean, you may not want to answer. Put the phone number up. Now, this is honestly, right? Now, I hate to go back to what's that, Firefly, whatever it was called. Is that right? What is it called? Firefly. Okay, whatever. Did that pain you though, right? Because you and the Potters had a nice relationship. Did that pain you? Did have to make that move?
Open the phone lines up.
Is that yes or no? I mean,
Norman, that's a dead issue. I've talked about it too long.
You're a funny guy. See, I do ask the questions. If he don't answer, it's on him. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Obviously, you don't know how to work the phone. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Dennis. Hello.
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 Hey, Stormer.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Listen, I'm just an old concerned citizen. I hear our good mayor talking about he don't want to talk about crime. Yet he talks about in his campaign about other situations that he aspired to do, and the crime rate and the kids is running rampant around here, not having no respect for nothing to no one, and you don't want to talk about it?
That's a question for you, Mayor?
That's what's happening now, man.
You know,
Dennis, you know, we need to feel safe.
All right, thank you for the call.
You know, again, here we go. Everybody keeps getting stuck on crime. You look at the whole spectrum here. We received 2 phone calls regarding that trooper being shot. 2 phone calls. And the community keeps talking about crime and outreach, but they don't want to participate and call the police and tell people who are involved. Now, I'm not going to sit here and listen to this nonsense when 80% or 90% of the people don't even support the police or help them or call them and tell them who's dealing these drugs and carrying these guns because they know. A lot of folks are reaping the benefits. As there'll be some of the same ones in these community meetings jumping up and down, lining their pockets, being involved with these drug dealers. And I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of people not supporting the police. If you don't tell us, we can't find out what's going on. Also, these young guys that are in the game and they get themselves killed, they know someone's after them, it's a contract on them. If they do not call us and tell us, we cannot protect them. If they call us, we have 2 witness protection programs. It's a local one, which I put in the General Assembly, where there's up to $40,000 plus hiding these folks. We have a federal one where the FBI can come in. We can hide these folks. We can protect them, but they got to tell us. If they do not tell us, guess what?
And then we can do. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Yes, first of all, Dennis, you've been very evasive in ducking a lot of questions that Norman's been asking you. So I guess in 2016 you can go sell insurance with Potter.
That wasn't right. That wasn't right. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Stormy Norman.
Uh-huh.
Yes, Dwight L. Davis calling. Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening, Dwight. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Sorry you couldn't sit in on the meeting we had in your office the other morning. Mayor, my question has more to do with not what you're not doing as a mayor to address crime, but crime essentially is a state-wide issue. It's an issue that involves the Department of Corrections, the Department of Health and Social Services, and what I can't understand is where are our state representatives and where are our state senators having any dialogue with your administration about combating crime? And I just ended by saying that we're all Democrats, and it just seems to me that the News Journal and others are acting as though they're perplexed about where guns are coming from. And I just need to understand why Stephanie Bolden and the other state representatives aren't really coming forth with any plan based on addressing crime. And I'll hang up and listen to your answer.
Thank you.
Well, Dwight, first of all, thank you for your call. I can't make other elected officials do anything. I mean, they were elected. It's up to them to do what they think that they need to do. I was elected to lead the city of Wilmington. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Are we combating crime? We are combating crime. I mean, people act like what's going on now never happened before. Again, we've had 12 years of neglect of public safety. I've come in, the officers have some of the most antiquated equipment, firepower, computers. We have now tried to push this into the 21st century. There's folks sitting around here elected. They know who they are. I don't have to call any names. They didn't do anything, but now it's attacked the Williams administration like we're not doing anything. We are doing something. We have to get the Wilmington Police Department from under that rock, get them on the right track, get our plan in order, and get it done. You know, when you sit around for years and nothing's being done and you keep fighting crime with the same radio districts. O.W. Wilson wrote the book. I studied under him, 1956 Policing. When you're still utilizing that in 2013 and 2012, it's crazy. We come and we had to revamp, we had to change everything. And that takes a long time.
And basically what you're saying is your plan is going to take a minute.
It's going to take time. We cannot change overnight what has been going on.
Welcome to the show.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, I'd just like to let the mayor know that I'm behind him 100%. The police department, the mayor did not raise these thugs walking the streets. It starts at home with these kids. They put in the paper about jobs. How are you going to give someone a job that walks the street with their underwear showing? They don't go to school. It's more teenagers walking the street that are not in school. Take advantage of the educational system, but yet they want to blame the mayor for everything. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hello, Norman. This is Mr. Jerry calling. To congratulate the mayor for the good job he's doing. And I was a call this morning about the policeman. And I called back, and they called me back, and I congratulate the police. I think they're doing a good job, and they need to stop criticizing the police because it's a rough job out there. And I also stated that it would be nice if the church people, the priests in particular, send out prayer once in a while. These policemen out there taking a chance to protect us. So I want to tell them that I like him, and I worked with his father back in the 50s, and God bless him in his job. Thank you.
Thank you for the call.
Thank you, sir.
Do you think the Journal and some other news outlets sometimes sensationalize stuff?
Norman, I'm not going to entertain that. And here you're trying to backdoor me again. I'm not going to validate what they said. You know what? The more you talk about them, you validate what they say. I'm not going to do that.
Thank you. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, so how you doing, Norman?
I'm good.
How you doing? I was questioning, for the mayor. It's one way I see that you can help cut crime down is stop having your officers stop every time someone gets locked up. Majority of them are let back out to become informants. Majority of people I've seen or heard about that have been shot in the paper, they were informants for the police officers. So it's like one way y'all giving an okay to do a crime, and once they do the crime, okay, well, I turn informant. But them are the same people that are committing them crimes over and over and over.
Okay. Did you want to answer that?
That's not true.
Okay.
It's not true.
He said that's not true. Okay, thank you for your call. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
I just want to say this to the mayor about the Governor Prince merchandise mark. I want to say that, people saying that he's not doing anything, and et cetera, but if they look how they have improved the merchandise mark and make people be able to go to the store, walk to the store from this area, is wonderful. And I also want to say, too, by walking at the waterfront, that's part of my exercise I am so glad that the mayor is continuing with coverage with the police force down there. They're not police force, they're like the guys that wear the yellow jackets on the bicycle. I hope you don't take those people away from there, because it's very important to have the people down there, because a lot of people like to walk. A lot of senior citizens, that's part of their health ritual, to get down on the waterfront and walk.
Thank you, ma'am.
Some good calls. You don't have to deal with me. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hi, Norman. Someone might have asked this already because I just caught the program. I'm late coming on it. But listen, why can't the mayor or anyone else take care of these parents, fine them, lock them up? There used to be things like that. Now that's gone. Can't we do something with these parents? They know what their kids are doing.
And you're absolutely right, ma'am. That's part of our police plan. Once we get it fully implemented, we will be talking to the parents and ask them why their children are not going to school, why their children are dropping out. We will try to get into the homes and find out if the parents are narcotics users or alcoholics. We want to get them into programs to turn it around, or we want to find a loving member of the family that will take the kids and try to get them back on the right track. But some of these parents do know what their children are doing. As I stated moments ago, they're reaping the benefits from this. I'm not afraid to say this. And you know, you can't fight and win a problem unless you go to all aspects of the trouble to work with it.
So it's a whole problem, the whole education thing, the whole family structure. I mean, once we get all this kind of stuff balanced, I mean, some of those things that happen.
It's a litany of things. If you start looking, I could name probably 10 things right off the bat about what's going on with families today. And when families start to disintegrate, as I started out this conversation, without religion, morality, and no family structure, no base, we got problems here. What do you think? The mayor's going to go and tell kids to go to bed and when to take a bath and go to church on Sunday and go to school? That would be impossible.
Right.
But people believe that I can do that. I can't do that, Norman. And I'm not going to be afraid to sit here and say that. Those kind of things we cannot do. We can guide people with programs. We can try to put people on the right track. We can start good job training programs that will get people employed. We will start school programs. We will work with kids to get them back in the GED programs. But just like the lady said moments ago, if you don't take advantage of this, we can't do anything about it. And there's other people running around that's elected pounding on their chest talking about what they're going to do, how they're going to set police forces up and districts. They don't know nothing about police work. If you gave them the book tomorrow, they would be standing in Rodney Square saying, "What have I done?"
How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
How you guys? Hello. How you doing? How you doing, man?
How you doing, sir?
Man, my blessings is going out to you, man, because you do have a journey and a hard job to do. But in the same token, I also believe
you might have to turn your TV down a little bit. It's an echo over here.
Okay. Okay. But man, everybody's wondering why there's so much police presence in the neighborhood and whatever the case is. But like you say, and like I know, if it was a case of they don't want them in there, they should stop doing what they're doing.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I can walk through my house, they call me, they check me, and whatever the case is, I'm all right with that. But it's the ones that have the problem. And the ones that have the problems is the ones that's committing the problem. Thank you. I love you, and I pray for you.
Thank you, sir.
That's nice. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
How you doing, Mr. Oliver, Mr. Mayor? It's Calvin Brown.
Hey, Calvin.
Let me just say this, that I mean, I look at everything. I've been here all my life. You know, I've seen it better in the country than it is now. But it's something that I think that we're missing in this whole formula. We know that the manufacturing jobs is one way, and we're struggling trying to be competitive with international markets, global economy. I think destroyed half of the country. I'm not blaming the Democrats or the Republicans, but both parties are guilty. But NAFTA, when the Republicans pushed it and Bill Clinton signed it into law, yeah, it opened up the markets, but it also brought the American standard of living down. The problem you got in these crime areas, I live in an area where, you know, it can be rough up here on 3rd and Clayton. And the young guys talk to me, they say, listen, Reverend, we got nowhere to turn. We got no job opportunity like our fathers where we could go down to port and get to work. It ain't like we could go to Chrysler and General Motors where DuPont was hiring. Ain't no more MBNAs. And if you got any kind of infraction on your record, it's going to take a long time. And I understand. I told him I've been down that road because I got some. My record ain't squeaky clean, but I had to start from the bottom, and it's difficult today from the bottom. The one thing I would ask the mayor is that, being a Democrat and the Democrats being in power in the state, where do they see those kind of entry level medium paying jobs ever coming back? And if not, I want to say this to you, Mr. Mayor. I love you as a brother and respect you a great deal. We don't always have to agree, but one thing I know is that I'm looking at these young people. If it's opportunity, they would work. I ain't talking about the hustlers. Now, some of them hustling because they got no choices. And yeah, they in a fight with the police in the neighborhood because they faced with survival tactics. Where do they go when it's no visible? I mean, my son went to New York to get a job. A graduate of Delaware State University because he couldn't find work here in Delaware. So what do a guy do with some blemishes, with minimum or no opportunity? How do they keep living if it ain't crime? I mean, I'm just being honest now.
Thanks, Cal.
Well, first of all, Calvin, I understand exactly what you're saying. It's years of passing tough criminal justice legislation. Now we're paying dearly. Everybody got on the kick about the war on drugs. Let's talk about putting everybody in prison. Now we're paying for this with people now who have felonies, can't get a job. People who are on probation, if they're out a certain hour at night, they can't work at the job or they're going to be revoked. The job says you have to work from 9 o'clock until 1 o'clock in the morning. They're paying you $22 an hour. I know that for a fact. I had a case where I had to help a kid and talk to the probation officer and talk to the director of probation to get his extension out so he can keep his job. These are the things that are happening. But listen, the mayor of the city of Wilmington cannot create jobs. The president of the United States and the Senate and the House of Representatives, that is their job to do that. I'm not going to sit here as a mayor and perpetrate that I can create jobs. I'm not going to do that. All these other mayors who sat around and said they were going to create jobs, it was a bunch of malarkey. It all comes from Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. Those are the folks you need to point your finger at, not the mayor of the city of Wilmington. I'm doing the best I can do to bring jobs in here and turn people around who've dropped out of school to get them back in school, to get them educated. We are looking at technical programs to bring people back so they can get educated. We don't have money to hire folks and create job programs. We do not do that. Cities provide services, trash pickup, public safety. But let me say this, we've gone beyond that. My city workers have put so much money into the United Way Fund to help needy families. We put more homeless people in homes because we took money out of our pocket. We haven't depended on state government and federal government. We've done it ourselves because we see the pain and suffering in the city every day. I see it in my office 24/7. Sometimes I don't leave there till 9 o'clock at night because I have lines of people that I have to take money out of my pocket to make sure they keep their heat on and put food on the table.
Wow. I had Senator Coons on last week, and he was talking about manufacturing jobs. I wonder if that's what Reverend Calvin was talking about.
Well, manufacturing jobs, Norman, went out with NAFTA. He was absolutely right. It's up to the federal government to create some jobs. And I mean, I'm tired of them talking too.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to be quite frank with you here. I mean, we get dumped on. We get all the 501c3s in the city of Wilmington. People talk about, what can I do? I want to help you. Help me bring some jobs in the city.
Now we're talking, man. Now we're getting loose. Man, it took a little time. Now we fight. That's why I want to hear some fighting in there, man. What's going on? And let me give a shout out to Alexandra Coppage. And let me give a shout out to Stephen Williams and Kenny Briscoe, my boy Leroy Tice. I like the young folks. I like that direction. So
I like them too.
So I had to give a shout out. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Hello? 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 Soft you go. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we here.
How you doing, Williams?
How you doing?
First of all, you got to give him a chance. Williams fought crime 30 years ago. He broke it up on 25th Market, or Market Street. He spent 24 hours on the street fighting crime and stuff. He do have a plan. But the people in Wilmington got to get behind him and got to be able to do what he asked them to do to deal with crime. It's only 10% of the people out there doing crime. And like Dan say, a lot of people that's in crime, that's doing stuff, already know they're going to get hit for doing what they're doing.
So the basic part about Mayor Williams is that he know how to fight crime. He did crime. He did crime with me, LV, and Hicks and stuff.
This is Richard Smith, the president of NAACP. Richard, do you think that maybe you and I think Reverend Christopher Bullock, the chairman of the Black Caucus, that also the Urban League, all you guys could do more also?
You're right. We all could do more. The city basically is a nice city. All the blocks don't have crime. All the cities, it's certain areas have crime. This is a good city, and we all can do more. We all can do more to help him out, to help the people of the city out. But we all are in this together. We ain't no one person's running this ship. It's 80,000 people running this boat and moving this boat around the city. So don't blame him for something that happened 30 years ago and still go on today. The part about crime, Dennis can deal with crime because I've seen with my own eyes deal with crime.
Okay. Thanks, Richard.
Thank you, Mouse.
President of NAACP. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Yes, hi.
Hello.
Yes, I was calling. First of all, I want to say hi, Norma. Hi, Dennis. Hi, Mayor Dennis.
How you doing?
All right.
Hi.
Look, I was calling because y'all was talking about crime, and you are doing a good job because it's like a ghost town out there. I work at night, and thank you for the 5 officers you put on Rodney Square because it does help out because I come through there at night. But also, I wanted to ask you because someone told me to call you and ask you, what can you do about Doris giving us better service because we do ride the bus and they up in the fare. And another thing I want to say, it is too many homeless people out in the street because I remember when I was homeless and it's not a good thing. You know what I mean? I'm trying to help a girl on my job now, 23 years old, out there in the street. And I don't have nothing to help her, but I'm going to do what I can. And I just want you to know you keep doing what you're doing because you only one person, and it was like that when you got in office, and you are making a difference because it is getting a lot better. The kids are still dying, but they are. And I do think it's a good thing if we all agree on stop and search because that's the only way you're going to find out who's packing and who ain't packing. And everybody don't want to die like that. And I'm a person that I come from the street. You know what I mean? But I never thought that I want to die in the street. So therefore, I'm not in the street. So you keep doing what you're doing and give us better service when it comes to housing because I'm tired of renting from these slum landlords just to have somewhere to live. You know, I pay good money to live where I live at, and I do live in the hood, and I just don't think it's right that we got to keep renting from these slum landlords that's not doing their part. Because I pay my rent every month.
Telephone 576-2100.
Because I don't have no late fee.
If I get a chance to get in.
I need better service.
Time out.
Okay, y'all do that.
No, listen, you got to take a breath for 1 second. What were you going to say?
Call 576-2100. We can help you with Dart.
Okay, thank you.
Woo! Cheese and crackers. But you know, she did.
She's right.
She brought up a lot of points. You know what, though? And another question, right? We have so many issues, mental health. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
But everything gets pushed right into this 9.5 mile geographical area. I mean, it's here. Everything gets pushed in here.
Yep. Golly days. I felt like I was running a marathon on that call. I was literally out of breath.
Oh, she's fine.
And she was great. I didn't say she wasn't fine. I just said it burned me out. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
How you doing, Stormy Norman? This is your cousin Stella.
Okay.
I want to thank the mayor publicly. Mayor Dennis Williams, you know what you did for me. I work at William Hicks Anderson Community Center. You are a great mayor.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stella.
You did a lot for me. And I'm behind you 100%. I am the mayor of the streets.
You the mayor of the streets?
And yes, I am.
That's good to hear something good about William Hicks Anderson and Parks and Recreation.
Yes, and Norman, it's because of you too, and I love you for that. So.
I used to work for Dennis. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't want to go there. Stella's good people too.
I fired you 5 times.
I know you. Why you have to keep telling? You tell me don't say stuff, but you say stuff. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Couldn't wake up in the morning.
How you doing, Mayor Williams? Big brother Stormy.
How you doing? Go ahead. Hello.
Storm.
Yeah, you have a question?
Yes. I don't got a question. I just got a little bit of advice or a little bit of information that hopefully that the mayor can. Because at the end of the day, I don't got no pull, but I do got some information. Like with the guy that's coming home from jail, if it's any kind of way they can, like mayor, can get with the governor or the commissioner of prison to hopefully implement some things like construction work or masonry or anything besides the key, because that's all they get you.
Yeah. Thank you for the call. They have a program.
It's a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
See, the state cut. I put $250,000 in, and I found out that when I left the General Assembly, half of the money was taken back. See, now I have to look at that and find out what's going on with the previous budget and trying to find out why these things are happening.
You still got good relationships down there?
Very good relationships, yes, with the bond bill and the General Assembly and the
Senate.
Senate.
That'll help out eventually.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes.
How you doing? Welcome to the show. Hello?
Yes, how you doing, Mayor?
How are you?
How you doing, Storm and Norman, Mayor? I hope everything is well. Mayor, you mentioned that a lot of times the community are afraid to speak up about certain things that are happening. I have a couple of rental properties, and on one occasion, somebody broke in and stole some copper piping, and the neighbor told me that it was the sanitation department, the truck guys, who dropped somebody off, and they broke in, and he called them back, and they got into the sanitation truck and drove away. Now, we told that to the cops and explained what was going on, but it seemed like nothing was done about it.
How long ago was this, sir?
This was about 8 or 9 months ago, Maryland Avenue area, Harrison Street, Maryland Avenue.
Why don't you come into my office tomorrow?
Excuse me?
Why don't you come into my office tomorrow?
Okay, I will.
Okay?
Thank you. Yeah, and also, before I go any further, let me give condolences to the Reason family and Corey Farrell and Stanley. We called him Rambo, Monk, a lot of different names. He was certainly a guy that we all loved in our community. And unfortunately, I went to see him in the hospital, and he had passed away. So I just wanted to give his family a shout out. So that's what I want to say about that. I mean, you know the family.
Oh, absolutely.
And we all know Corey.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Reason, I give her a shout out on the show all the time. So, I mean, it just kind of hit my heart to talk about that.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah. I would talk about the housing department, but I do like Nayilam, but it's one guy there I think is a jerk. But I'll tell you about that jerk off the air because you want me to be nice. So
why you gotta be jabbing my people? Man?
Well, he's in the Christmas spirit. Well, he wasn't one of yours, like you said.
Oh, okay.
You said somebody was there before you.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's a jerk now. He's a jerk then. How you doing? Welcome to the show. So he's just.
Hi, Mayor Williams. Hello.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I went off a tangent. I'm sorry.
Hi, Mary Williams. How are you? I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's. But I was just calling to say a few things. I remember when you guys was on the police force with Leroy Landon, the cop who passed on. They was really great. You guys are really great, and you're doing a great thing for the mayor. For the city of Wilmington. And I don't live in the city of Wilmington, but I want to say this to you. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. And keep doing what you're doing, cleaning up the streets. Don't let nobody tell you ain't doing right. You're doing everything that you're supposed to do to be a mayor and an ex-police officer. Okay? Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's a good call. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Hello. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Norman, and hi, Mayor. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
I'm a proud great-grandmother. I just want to say that my great-grandson played for Hodgson,
and they were state champions in football this year. And this week he received a letter from Harvard University.
Oh my goodness, that's great.
Oh wow, that's good.
And I want you to talk to him later on, Norman. Okay. A great young man, and he's an honor student.
That's beautiful.
Well, you need to get his name and all to my office so we can bring him in before my administration and take care of him too.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
And you can attest to this. You know, it was interesting today when they were when Bullock was bringing up all the college students, people who are in college. You know, and these are the things that you were saying we don't talk about. And I was at Reverend Bullock's church today.
We gave out 33 scholarships. I mean,
yeah, 33 scholarships, and there must have been like 15 students, right? When I was there, that are in school.
Right.
But we never talk about that stuff. And let me.
When we talk about it, it just doesn't get.
Well,
printed.
I will talk about it now. Let me get off the. Let me get on my high horse for a second. Because a lot of times people say there's nothing to do. Hell, it's a lot to do. Because they don't want to do it, don't mean there's nothing to do. I mean, seriously.
Right.
There's a lot of programs.
Absolutely.
And because if little Johnny don't want to do it, don't mean it's not happening.
Well, look,
we got to get out of that, and we got to tell the truth about that too.
Oh, yeah, we're having an Xbox tournament at Hicks Center, ping pong tournaments. I mean, we're starting to branch out and do all kinds of stuff. I see your face getting a little tight there.
Yeah, because I don't want you to talk about Hicks Anderson, because I got some problems with some of them people too. But then they'll talk about me tomorrow. Then they cuss me out for telling the truth. How you know? Welcome to the show. But I'm like, I don't care. What they gonna do to me? They can't fire me. They can't elect me. And I'm telling the truth. And that's why I said about the guy in housing. I got some problems with people in parks. I got some problems, but that's just me.
That's not a problem.
You know what I mean?
I understand.
But if I don't tell you the truth, right?
Right.
And because you and I talk about the truth, right? I mean, you don't have to answer them on the air. I mean, we can talk privately, but I got to tell the truth, right?
But you have to tell what you believe is the truth. I don't know that yet until I have to check it out myself.
You're a funny guy. I'm glad you're getting in the Christmas spirit. How you doing? Welcome to the show. We're going to take a couple of calls. We're getting too cozy here. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Hello? Hello?
Hello, this is Jean Jackson. I'm calling on behalf of a couple that I know.
Hello, this is Jean Jackson.
They live at a motel, the Budget Inn.
Okay.
And I'm calling to find out some emergency help they can get. They have it's a couple and 3 children, and they're third on the waiting list and fourth on the waiting list at 2 shelters. But right now, tomorrow will be their last day, and I was wondering if you could tell me somewhere they could get help for a couple of days at least.
Would you check into Mary Mother Hope House, something like that? I'm not sure if East Lawn still does that.
Mary Mother Hope?
Yeah, Kingswood Community Center.
And they can call the office to 576-2100.
576-2100. The mayor said you could call him. Catholic Charities. There are some agencies, right? Pretty much those, did I cover them? All right, thank you for the call. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Hello?
Yes, hi. This is Jeff Williams calling. Norman, it's good to see you on the air. Mayor Williams, it's a pleasure to see you.
Thank you, sir.
My question is simple. My company, we've been trying to do business there down at the waterfront, and it appears that the powers that be they have a very tight line on what type of businesses they're allowed to go there and what they're not. So we looked at the other place, the old Diamond Salvage Yard, right off of Governor Prince Church Street, I believe. Mm-hmm. And we have 100% finance. We have things in place to where we want to do some community development by creating community corporations, so that the majority of what we do is going to be community driven. But we have the funding to do it. Now we understand there's a study being conducted, so the city can determine what best they can have done there. When can we find out when that study's been completed, so we can have an understanding of what the city finds that's best suited for them to accommodate for that area, for the community, as well as for the city, and getting some of these folks some jobs there?
That's a really good point. I think, Mayor, would that be a call that he should make to your office to come and talk to you?
That would be
because I don't know what it's
directly to my office, and I'll set something up with economic.
Yeah, I don't know what his business is, but let's talk about business.
576-2100.
Hey, and let me give a shout out again to my good brother Alonzo Cisco Brown. We're gonna party tomorrow for his birthday. You welcome to come by, man. Drink a little champagne. Yeah, you gotta party a little bit. You can't, you go through this stuff, man. You need a drink afterwards, man. See, I drink me a little wine. You know what I mean? It's okay to say that. But look, man, happy holidays to you, and thank you, man. Seriously, and in all sincerity, I hope that you're successful. You know what I mean? And sometimes we laugh and joke and we talk. You and I,
absolutely.
We talk a lot of smack, but
Steelers won today.
And so did the Bengals.
About time you won something. How many rings you have?
Man, why you got to go there? Now, see, here you go. Now you wait till the end of the show and start getting talking. Now, I can't ask him a damn thing. Now he's talking. Now he's getting on my case.
We got 6. They call Pittsburgh Sixburg now. They don't call it Pittsburgh anymore.
Well, we great win the division. How about that? See, you talk about the past. See, you talk about the past administration.
Okay, pass.
I see. How you like that? Hey, man, happy holidays, man. But I hope that the community comes together and we help with the economic development situation. We help fight crime. We help bring jobs back. It's going to take a collective effort.
Absolutely.
And thank you for, it is what it is. Some things you didn't want to talk about, some things you talk about. It is what it is. But if you come on Crossfire, I'm going to ask you. You do know that.
No problem.
Hey, give your boy Julius a shout out, man. He's one of your biggest supporters.
Julius is one of the ones that's going to be helping with the ping pong tournament.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Hicks Anderson.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Hey, man, put my commercial on, man. I'm out of here. Y'all ain't food left. Hey, man, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays all.